Yes, じゃあ、let's start the final summary talk from the Arun and Barun for this stain as a collaborative studies with between the Waseda University and the IIT Jodhpur. And the Arun and Barun has stayed here from last Sunday, and today's afternoon they will depart from here. So therefore I asked them to make the summary talk for this stain. The file is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, about maybe the mainly 4 days, what they each of them are experienced and considered and found during their staying. So, じゃあ let's start your talk. Arun,
Yes, sir.
can you start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, please do.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes.
My name is Arun VB. I am here with Barun Mahaldar. We are MSc Degree Humanities students from Indian Institute of Technology, Jodhpur. And we are here to present our final report of our 5-day academic visit to IPS Waseda, Japan. So I would like to thank Professor Matsumaru, Professor Kamata, Professor Hashimoto, and Professor Rachel Phillip for providing this opportunity to come and visit this prestigious institution. So let me glide into my first slide. So here we have actually represented the chronological order of how Dr. Ravi Bobby Abraham, and from Waseda University, Dr. Matsumaru. And that device was actually called Sakshar IDVT. And it is actually a technology enhanced learning device. So that means it's actually a technology, it's a device which is actually enabling students to learn phonemes, learn English language better in a better way. So that device was developed in 2017. And when it comes to IIT Jodhpur, which is the institution we are affiliated with, in 2023 August, an ICSSR JSPS collaboration has emerged. As part of that, we have actually tried to bring some modification to the existing game. So the modification was actually, we tried to completely change the interface of the game by creating new modules. By new modules, which we actually created the complete background, complete elements in the and complete designs in the game from scratch. And we have also considered the educational principles and how these drawings, how this game will affect the students of the elementary class from the perspective of a sociologist as well as an educationist. So apart from just a technological device, we have also brought some humanities perspective to this game. And when it comes to the 2023 September, we have actually tried to get the trial of the game. So for that, we have actually visited Kendriya Vidyalaya School at IIT Jodhpur, and we have actually made the elementary school students to play this game, and we have actually collected their responses. So we have actually spread a questionnaire out of which the children could report what they thought about the game and what improvement could be made in the game. And we were also analyzing how the children were playing the game too. And in detail, Barun will be explaining about that in the coming slides. And when it comes to 26 October 2024, we actually submitted a paper, an academic paper, to a peer-reviewed journal. So the peer-reviewed journal is Kerala Sociological Society Journal, and the paper was actually titled "The Question Concerning Technology Enhanced Learning." So in this paper, we primarily analyzed the abstracts of already published papers in the area of technology enhanced learning by referring to Web of Science and Web of Social Science. So Web of Science and Web of Social Science are actually a well-known repository of international academic journals. So we actually tried to find from which area, whether it is actually STEM disciplines like engineering or whether it is from humanities discipline, the researches about technology enhanced learning is happening. And the result was actually astonishing in a way that it was actually engineering disciplines who are primarily doing well research in the area of technology enhanced learning. It was not done by humanities discipline. So we were able to find that engineering researchers are actually doing well in the area of technology enhanced learning, and they are trying to modify the area of how technology and education actually come together. And when it comes to 1st and 2nd February of 2024, in every year at IIT Jodhpur, which is our institution, there we are
Arun, please wait because your video is frozen.
And we have actually tried to demonstrate one of our hello, it's an internet connection.
Okay, please continue. Yes.
Okay, sorry, sir. So in that industrial day, we were able to this game of ours. We were able to like exhibit the device we have actually created at that time. And what is the current situation? The current situation is that we actually found from analyzing the questionnaire which were actually filled out by the children, and from our observation and from the expert in this area, including like Professor Matsumaru, Professor Rachel Phillip, and who are actually like and by referring to well-known papers, like there is space for like betterment in this game, and we are actually thinking about how to bring that game more better. So we are actually trying to focus more on better design, the better storyline, and better characterizations, and more research on education and government policies to improve the quality of game and how it can help the students in a better way. So we are in this situation which we try to modify the game into a better way. So we have outlined a timeline about our visit, which has happened in Waseda University. So it's actually started with laboratory meeting, which happened in on 22nd of this month, and you could actually see the progression. And on the and I will actually like ask Barun to carry out from here.
Okay, thanks, Arun. We did a number of, I hope I'm audible. So we undertook a couple of activities in the last 4 days, and we found some really interesting insights that I'm sure that we'll be applying in the phase 2 of our game right now. So as Arun said, it began in the August of 2023, and it's exactly going to be 1 year, right? So a lot of improvements have to be made. There's a lot of room for improvement as well. For that to happen, this is what we did. And on 22nd, we just had a laboratory meeting with Professor Matsumaru and the other research scholars, where we just had a glimpse of how rigorous the research here is. Like it was a great learning experience. So that's how our first day went by. On the second day, this was one of the primary objectives of the whole visit. That is that we visited the nearest KUMON school, which is just a few minutes walk from here. And we observed the classroom for an hour, right? And I'll be talking in detail about that. And then on the next day, 24th in the morning, we had a meeting with Professor Hashimoto and Professor Kamata, and we tried presenting the existing features of the game to them. And also we want to know what more improvements could be made. And we did get some really good insights, especially on implementation of Jetson Nano, implementation of LiDAR and RGBD cameras, and what is sustainable, what is more efficient, and all that. And on the very same day, immediately after the meeting, Professor Matsumaru Haitian, me and Arun, we set off to Cyber Connect 2, which is one of the leading game development studios in the whole of Japan, who have published mostly action-based games. But the purpose of the visit was to get some insights on user interface and user research principles that we could implement in our game as well, so that it is of higher quality and students don't miss out on that. And then on the next day, also we had two important activities, which was just yesterday. We presented digital humanities and introduction to Waseda University, and I hope there were a few things which students took away home. And the very last activity that we did was a follow-up one to the KUMON visit, right? And it was a meeting with a Zoom meeting with the public relations team of KUMON, where not only did we participate, but several other professors from IIT Jodhpur also participated, and they asked some really important questions that that are very crucial, and I'll be talking in more detail about that. So we came here with three important objectives. The first one is how Japan uses technology in education, because that's what we are also trying to do. We are trying to implement technology and elevate educational values to newer heights. Secondly, we wanted to understand more about game design, because educational games, as I said in the yesterday's presentation as well, that they tend to miss out on those basic UI UX principles. So we wanted to know more about that from a leading developer like Cyber Connect 2. And thirdly, was meetings with researchers that with whose insights we would incorporate into our study, so that we have a better device in this phase too. So yeah, next. So yes, so first one, how Japan uses technology in education. So going back to the timeline that I mentioned, firstly, we had an hour's worth of observation in the nearby KUMON school, where we just observed how how children were entering the classroom, what the layout of the classroom was, how the materials were made up, what was the progression system of the materials, what were the instructors doing. So we made several observations here for an hour, and then we had an online professors from IIT Jodhpur as well as Professor Matsumaru had in their minds, and the findings are as follows. So this is not an exhaustive list. These are some of the most important findings that we think are very important going forward. So the first one is skepticism. So KUMON school tends to use this e-pencil, right, which is very useful as an audio assistant, which will help you learn through in the realm of developing skills like listening and speaking, and in some ways reading as well, because it reads out whatever is there in the book. So it's an interesting device, right? But when we had a conversation with the PR team, with the PR KUMON team, they did mention that initially, although it was innovative, parents wish for more human to human interaction, or more human to human conversation. They didn't want
No, I'm actually. Sorry, sir. Like some internet connection issues.
Okay. Is it okay?
Professor Vedas and
Yeah,
last.
let me. Okay.
Can anyone tell me what was I talking about? Yeah.
Arun, this part of なんだっけhuman to human communication means, conversation means the parents wants to teach by natural language speaker, だから mother tongue speaker. Okay. So therefore the teacher should be the foreign teacher is the more preferable to teach the English that they say. It's not only the human communication, conversation or human face-to-face teaching, but the many parents want to teach by the foreign teacher, mother tongue teacher is important, they say. It's a very, very important point, I think. So therefore the pronunciation or the speaking is very important for hearing and also listening, and also the following the hearing contents, the student should reply it. So therefore the natural language, natural mother tongue people's the teaching is important, they say. Hi, thank you. Please continue.
Okay, Professor. Thank you for the insight there. We'll take it forward. Then secondly, we found this culturally sensitive stories that were told around Kumon school. So Kumon has schools in other parts of the world as well. And the last Kumon school that they opened up was in Nepal, actually. Right. So what is different from Kumon schools in Japan and the other nations is that other nations, they don't use the e-pencil, right? But the more interesting finding is that stories used in these different materials, they tend to apparently change from country to country. Now, the reason why this is important is because when we are teaching English as a second language, it should really be in the context of where they are studying from, and it shouldn't have a very European centric or an Anglo-centric way of presenting stories. So I think this is very important, that our content should have culturally sensitive or culturally culturally appropriate materials as well. Right. Thirdly, we have the scoring, how they would score their worksheets. So students would enter the classroom and they would complete about 1 to 5 worksheets in the classroom, and they would get it checked right then and there. And only until a student scores 100 in all of the worksheets are they allowed to move forward with the other upper level worksheets, right? And they do this for their homeworks as well. They they do 5 more, at least 5 more, at least 5 more worksheets at home. This scoring that is happening in the scale of 100 is not very normal, actually, because there are always these minimum rates, there are these minimum pass rates, even in games. Like if you score above 60%, you get like 2 stars and then you move forward in the upper levels, right? But this 100, scoring 100 is something which I think leads to different motivation levels within kids as well. And this quest for perfection also comes in. So that is something there. And finally, we also found how motivation is something that is carried on in these Kumon classrooms. What happens is that if in the event the student doesn't score a perfect 100, he or she has to either repeat these modules or worksheets again and again till they get 100. Now, repetition is something which is not generally considered very motivating, right? And to combat these motivations, what the materials often include are very interesting or funny stories. So I read up a story about a bird being lost and then a boy then finally finding that bird. And there were stories of like Romeo and Juliet as well. So they regularly tend to have seminars and training sessions with the teachers to combat this motivation factor as well, right? And so that is something that we have found. Yeah, I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Okay. So next one is, yeah. So the second one is understanding game design, and for this, we visited Cyber Connect 2, which was in Fukuoka, near Hakata Station. And although Cyber Connect 2 is a very commercial game development studio, we really did think like it would be insightful if we get insights on UI UX from the experts in gaming itself, right? They do not create any educational games. We were perfectly aware of that, but the findings are still very impressive. So first and foremost, one of the things that often came into the discussion with the team at Cyber Connect 2 is that education and entertainment is always a difficult combination. It's always going to be very hard to balance, according to one of the developers from Cyber Connect 2 itself. And this will be very important because I think we are going towards building an educational game which will include a story in some way or the other, so that not only do they have a great learning experience, but they also have a memorable experience while learning, right? And then secondly, narratives. So as I said, stronger stories are very essential for creating memorable gaming experiences. So game writing itself is a different field. It requires a different expertise, and I think this is where we could also contribute as like humanities students, right? And then finally, user experience. This was the primary objective of the visit. Multiple questions were asked around UI UX, and the very first thing, and it's the basic principle of UI UX, is that we cannot make assumptions when we are creating interfaces. So for every single action that the student might be taking, there should be a tutorial for that, because our target audience is as young as ages 6 and it goes up to ages 12. And within this age group, there are like two different cognitive groups as well, right? So that is all that we have found. So now moving back to Arun. Yeah.
So when it comes to the phase 3, it's actually it's about meeting that contribute the phase 2 of the project. So phase 2 of the project means we have already talked about the current situation of the game. The current situation being like we have actually tried to bring a modified version of the game, but still we have found that there is still room for improvement. So with our even with this visit of ours, I think like it gave us like better insights on like on which area we could actually focus more on to get the game more improved. And one thing would be to present the ongoing work related to features of Sakshar development, and the other is actually updating the current device with advanced yet affordable tech at recommendation of Professor Kamata and Professor Hashimoto. So we actually came with these objectives when we actually try to pitch and think about what were the like changes which should be brought on the game. From the interview with Professor Hashimoto and Kamata, we were able to find like few major like revelations. The first one being like Professor Hashimoto's like recommendation about Jetson Nano. So Professor Hashimoto has like demonstrated using a robot he has like took to the lab, in which he has actually used the Jetson Nano device and a touchscreen to actually touch display to show how with Jetson Nano a robot can be transformed into a computer. So the the revelation point is that usually while we were using the Sakshar device, we were actually dependent on a computer or a laptop. So we had to take the device with us along with the laptop. And it was actually a very difficult task to take a laptop everywhere. So as Professor Hashimoto has actually showed us, uh, if we could actually use the method of connecting a touch display to a Jetson Nano and creating a standalone computer within the game system, it will actually remove the problem of carrying a computer everywhere with the game console or the device we have actually created. So it will actually make the device more portable and will be like easier to like ship it. If we are actually talking about a like final product, the Sakshar device, we will actually change the name. We are thinking of changing the name. And in the future, if we are actually we have reached a perfect gaming device and we want to like distribute it to new schools, we need a perfect design. So this
Arun, can I interrupt you?
yes, sir.
Yeah. Jetson, when you use a Jetson Nano, maybe the Jetson Nano and the LiDAR sensor and the projector, only these three parts is good enough for the on-site system, Saksha system. And the additional laptop is or PC is necessary to only for the development phase of the program. Only
Yes,
that.
sir.
So therefore maybe the Raspberry Pi or the Jetson Nano can work standalone while
Yes, sir. Yeah.
it is on-site usage. That is, and the PC is only the programming program code development environment. The PC is very useful for the development environment is prepared. So therefore they have recommended that firstly the connected with the PC and the developed program on PC, and then the actually in the execution phase, the only standalone Jetson Nano can work well for the both with the projector and the LiDAR sensor, both, of course. That's all. Arun, okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So like we didn't have this idea before like you and Hashimoto actually mentioning about it. So like as you mentioned, laptop is only enough for like coding the game, but we were actually using it to display like select the which slide to display on the gaming while projecting too. So this was a revelation for us, like how we could actually um, turn a screen to a more like a computer using Jetson Nano, and we are actually trying to adopt this method, and I think this will be a great help for the game itself. I think like I'm audible.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay. When it comes to, is there a check? Hello. Yes, sir. Okay. When it comes to the second part, it's actually object detection. So in here, actually, we were concerned about like what if like LiDAR sensors like are not actually performing or are not able to clearly able to identify the objects or detect the objects, which is actually hand. Like what if like the LiDAR sensor are not actually detecting the hand gestures of the students while playing the game. So at that time, like Professor Hashimoto mentioned, like we could actually use RGB D cameras. So I think that could be if that is actually a good option, we will also try to look at that direction too, because like we need to create a best console and best result as possible.
He's increasing the Arun's PC. To he?
Hello.
Hello.
Am I audible? Yes, Prof. I think his laptop has some issue with the
Yeah,
Wi-Fi
because
reception.
the too much heated, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe. He's trying to log in again. Yes, just a minute.
Okay, good. Yes. Hi. Arun is okay. Please continue.
So we were in the second point. The second point was about like the suggestion given by Professor Hashimoto that we can use RGBD cameras instead of YD lidars if the YD lidars are not able to detect hand gestures of the students. So and he have actually shown a video of how some of his students have actually like tried to create a hand detection device using RGBD cameras, and it is successful. So the issue with the LiDARs, issue with RGBD camera is that RGBD cameras are actually more expensive compared to LiDARs. But we will also appreciate the suggestion of Professor Hashimoto, because like it would be a nice alternative if the LiDARs are not working. So that is a nice takeaway suggestion from the side of Professor Hashimoto.
Arun, I have some comments about this.
Yes.
Okay. Object detection is okay, but firstly, you have to consider what you want to measure by using the sensor. Firstly, the LiDAR is, for example, the 2D surface detection, object detection can be achieved. And the RGB simple color camera can detect the 2D image, 2D plane image colors. And
Okay.
RGBD depth sensor can detect the 3D depth map, depth grid data, position data. So by using these sensors, the performance or the sensors, what can detect by each sensor is different by the kind of the sensors. And by using that kind of data, what kind of action or what kind of motion or what kind of gesture or the posture you want to detect. So depending on the purpose of purpose of the sensor data usage, the use sensor will become different. So you have to think carefully about that. So presently, if you want to consider only touch and release situation of the users or children, the LiDAR is good enough to detect. The present LiDAR is good enough to detect. But of course, hand gesture or something more, if you want to detect another sensor, you should consider only that. So that
Yes, sir.
point you have to consider carefully.
Thank you, sir. So as you mentioned, hand would be considered as a 3D object. I believe hand would be considered as a 3D object. The issue with the current sensors is that it's actually taking false positives. Even though children are not touching on the screen, it is actually taking the movement as a positive response. So that is actually destroying the game flow. So we would like to create a more accurate device which will actually give a more accurate result. So we'll keep in mind your suggestion.
Okay.
Okay, sir. So when it comes to the last part, we would like to bring together the journey which we begun from and where we are actually trying to move forward. So as you all know, it's actually part of an ICSSR JSPS collaborative research project. And from the side of India, it's actually IIT Jodhpur collaborating with IIT Delhi and Professor from NIT Trichy. And from the Japanese side, it's actually like a process from IPS Waseda primarily, and in the QTech, including from the Waseda, it's actually Professor Matsumaru, and there are actually from QTechs like Kamata Professor. So there are actually like it's actually collaboration of not just different nations or like different institution. More than that, it's actually a collaboration of different perspective or different academics. So actually, different disciplines are coming together with their expertise to make something new. So that is actually a educational game, and this educational game also has some ethics to consider. Like we are actually teaching students. For like teaching students some things, we need like expertise from the side of educationist, and we also need to consider the sociology of a society that we are living in, and also as we are creating a game, we need the expertise of technologists. So these three departments are actually coming together, or three epistemologies are coming together to create a game. And this is actually a long-term journey, and we are calling this a long-term journey because actually we are really believing in this game, and we really believe that this game should actually, and this game will actually help students to learn English in a better way. And this is actually like a very sincere thought out of which we try to like improve the quality of education in the lower section of society, and we need help of the expert in this area to create something new which will help the entire society and the coming generation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you
Thanks.
so much. はい、question or discussion part. どうかな。なんか、he think you may have observed all of the process, their things, most of the process, their things. So therefore, you have some question or suggestions or comments about it? Yes, please do.
Maybe I want to know about what will be the final state of this project. Like it will be like be some product or just only a demo to do it. It's it will be like wild used in India, or will be only a demo of this project. Is what I want to know.
なんか、target. What is a なんか goal? まあ、target
I hope
goal.
I'm audible.
Yes, yes. Audible. Yes.
Thank you, Heshin, for the question. So like this is not just a demo actually. So we are actually trying to release this game as a like real gaming device which will solve real social problems and the real problems of students in schools, particularly like rural government schools we are actually focusing on. And we will not actually try to just fit into an Indian situation, because like we are able to know cultures of other societies. Once we actually make a very best quality version of this game, we will also try to bring a Japanese variation of this game if it is possible. I hope like it happens. So this is a very serious long-term thought we are having, and we are in the inception state, and we are actually like improving or like moving forward in a very faster pace. So we have actually created the third version of the game currently, and we are actually trying to bring a new version of this game. By third version, I'm actually saying like the first version was actually like started with during the time of Professor Matsumaru and Professor Ribi actually collaborating while they were in IIT Delhi and Waseda University. When Rachel ma'am took it, it was the second version. And when me and Barun came, we actually tried to change the modules again, and we tried to bring new design elements. And we are actually like after coming to Japan and actually learning more about this from our visits and from the expert in this area, including Professor Hashimoto and Kamata and Professor Matsumaru, we truly believe that there is still room for improvement, and we will actually try to improve this better with more learning about this. And we believe that we could actually bring a better version like sooner, and we will actually present it to you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I have some comments. Maybe the tentative target we should set for example, for these the two years collaborative project. Maybe the end of this 2-year project, we have to show something. Firstly the demonstration or the system development, developed equipment you should demonstrate. So therefore firstly, maybe the combination of some projector, LiDAR sensor, and maybe the Jetson Nano, these 3 pieces combination hardware. By using this, some kind of software should be achieved for this story. For example, SAT or something, the alphabet learning, the game software. You have to prepare, and then the tentative total demonstration is necessary to show to the other person, the stake person or something, someone is necessary to demonstrate. And then after that, maybe the Rachel and Libby-san's consideration is maybe the rural village students' education, especially for not only the central city, but also the other local city, local villages students, the education is the target maybe. So therefore, they are very, very concerned about the low cost hardware. So therefore, at that time, the Jetson Nano is not good for the cost maybe, and also the LiDAR sensor is. So therefore, this is a discussion point. How much should we take for the system, the hardware system? So this kind of part is important. But maybe in this 2 years project's goal, maybe by using these 3 part equipment, the LiDAR sensor, projector, Jetson Nano, and then and also the software, the game software development, and the combination of this system, the demonstration must be done in this 2 years project maybe. And then the more cheaper cost is maybe the next challenge to consider. And also the other way is, yes, presently they're only using the projector and the touch release detection of the children's touch release detection is considered. If it is so the only touch panel, low cost touch panel is good enough or not, is we should discuss later about that. So therefore that is very, very depending on the pitch parameter or pitch condition. Pitch condition should have some priority or something. We should discuss carefully about the priority consideration. That is my comment. How do you think, Arun?
Yes, sir. Actually, there is one thing we would like to add. So Rachel ma'am actually has informed us that we have actually bought some devices, including we have bought a new version of Epson projector, and there is actually like we are actually ordering like a LiDAR, and we have actually a Jetson Nano. So we have received the funds for buying.
We have a LiDAR.
Oh, we have a LiDAR.
Yeah.
We have a LiDAR, and we are actually like we have the fund available for buying this. And actually, Dr. Ribi has asked us to like try to learn the installation of Jetson Nano from Professor Hashimoto, and we have been trying to learn that, and he has actually like has shared us the links, and we hopefully like will be able to install Jetson Nano as per his like mandates. And currently the game is actually running on Python codes, and we would like to try to like make it better to fit the prerequisites of Jetson Nano.
Yes. Okay. So therefore, if you use a Jetson Nano, as you like, you may be able to create any software by on the Jetson Nano and the Python's combination maybe. So therefore, once you have to create some software and demonstrate by using the hardware system. And after that, we should consider the next stage or something. Presently, keeping keep in the tentative target as I said, and also the only touch and release recognition. And one thing I have to say is finally considering about the projector. Projector is the wide screen size can be projected on screen or desktop. So therefore, it is more preferable than the display or touch display. So that point is important. And I hope that not only the single person, a single child participate of this one screen, but also the multiple children is learned at the same time is more preferable. So the Barun is also concerning about that. Multiple children is participated in the one screen contents is more better. So therefore that kind of point is we should consider. And so another kind of the software you should also consider to develop. This is my
Yes.
suggestion and comments. Hi, how do you think? Barun, how about you have some answer or comments?
Yes, sir. Can you? Yeah. So I'm audible, right? Yeah. So we did have like talks about multiplayer games before coming here. We so far we have made interface on just single players, but we are also trying to think of like what kind of game mechanics will we have. Like for example, will there be different types of touch interface like the rapid tapping or like dragging or sliding, so that there are like more ways to play the game, and if we bring more ways to play the game, then multiplayer will be a great possibility.
Okay.
So yes, Professor.
Yes.
And we are still thinking of actually about like what kind of content to develop for multiplayer games, but it's definitely on the table, Professor.
Okay. So firstly, so therefore in that case, you should firstly consider about the same LiDAR projector Jetson Nano combination. You may be able to separate the one screen, the left side and right side. And maybe the left side detection and the right side detection can be done by the one single LiDAR sensor simultaneously at the same time. So therefore, the data concerning the left side data and the right side data you can consider. So therefore, if it is so, the same setting of hardware can be used for the multiple player, or at least two players to participate in the single screen projected screen.
Okay. What about Raspberry Pi, Professor? Like, will that be suitable for multiplayer?
I don't know about the performance of Raspberry Pi while using the LiDAR sensor. So the Jetson Nano is has some experience by Professor Hashimoto by using the environmental detection and the other processing can be done at the same time. So therefore, maybe the Professor Hashimoto recommends you to use the Jetson Nano. But Raspberry Pi, I don't have no knowledge or experience about the usage of this Raspberry Pi with that LiDAR sensor. So therefore, I don't know exactly the performance by using the Raspberry Pi's case. So if maybe the Libby-san also has a Raspberry Pi. So therefore, if you have some time, please consider how is the performance of Raspberry Pi and the LiDAR sensor combination. Yes.
Okay, Professor.
Jetson Nano LiDAR sensor combination is maybe there are many experience already has some experience by Professor Hashimoto, but the Raspberry Pi plus LiDAR sensors combination we don't have. So therefore, I cannot certainly say that works well or not.
Okay, Professor, that's fine. We'll majorly focus on Jetson Nano. That's the current focus.
I hope so.
Yes, Professor.
do you have some additional things, Arun and Barun, you can say? Or, yeah, this time, Kawakami-san, can you hear Kawakami-san?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. And maybe the file hearing, I think that you haven't understand completely, but please say some comments and something, feelings or considerations while listening, after listening these talks. Please do.
Okay. So you visit the KUMON, right?
Yes.
So maybe I think in the KUMON, there are children who have a great motivation and learning ability with compared the children they are in the typical elementary school, I think. So how do you think, how should you do to create or increase motivation or in the for children who is in the typical elementary school?
Okay, so in terms of game-based learning, some research has been done in this area. So there are rating levels, right? So either you could include experiences where they go to level 1, level 2, level 3, or instead of gaining like 100% scoring and getting 3 stars, let's say for example, like the maximum stars that they could get in a level is 3, right? We should give them the freedom to at least score something like above 60 so that they could go to the next level. And it's not just about like getting a perfect score. Of course, that would be highly recommended that they get a perfect score. But to combat that, on the other hand, like we can have a lower barrier as well. If the student say fails to get above 60, then they can replay the game in a different level. Maybe we just like change the level up and not make them play the same level again. So making them play the same level again is the actual problem with repetitive games. And what else? Yes, also motivation levels could be maintained by having a leaderboard system as well. Like let's say, for example, classes in class 4, while a student plays the game, in the corner you have 3 names, and whoever has scored the most in that particular level, their names are displayed on the top. So they have a motivation now that, okay, what if I can appear on that leaderboard? So,
okay,
yeah.
I think it's an advantage of game-based learning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the Q&A. Arun and Barun, thank you, Kawakami-san. And the Arun, Barun, and finally, you want to say something in the remaining something? Yes, please, Arun, please.
Thank you, Mr. Kawakami, for your question. So I do think like about your question, the motivation factor. So the principle of KUMON is actually they should not create a competition among students. Like they won't be showing their scores to the other students.
Please. Okay, maybe.
Sorry, sir.
Okay, please speak.
So I believe the principle of KUMON is actually not to compare students between each other. So the mark you score is actually your score. I think from a educational perspective, not doing this comparison is actually good for this child. So I think there should be other motivation, like from the side of teacher itself. Teacher like very emotionally like congratulating the student or giving a star on in the answer sheet, or like some gift like pencil or pen. So giving some incentives would be a more like positive reinforcement would be a better. So even in psychology, like there are concept of like positive reinforcement given. So giving reinforcement which are actually not by comparing with others will be a better option. as I believe. So that's the one perspective which I have for your question. And for the overall analysis, I believe this visit to Waseda University was extremely fruitful. First of all, I have to thank Professor Matsumaru along with Haitian. Haitian was very helpful for our entire journey. Like he was more like our guide to our entire space. He has been helping us to the entire journey. So I would like to thank everyone, including the officials, the professors, and especially Haitian for guiding us here. And we will really like to take away the recommendations and the learnings we have made from here, and we will improve the current gaming conditions. And we have actually noted down the recommendation of Professor Matsumaru, and we'll have to create a better version of the game, and we will in our next meeting we will really give you a better update. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Barun,
Professor.
please.
Yeah. Yes, Professor. So thank you, Arun. So I have similar things to say. Apart from the academic learnings, which are definitely going to be, used for the next phase, which is going to be beginning soon, as August begins. We really felt like home here. We are going to leave Japan with very fond memories of good food, of good people, of good places. So that's all I have to say, actually. So it was a great experience, and I think I'm really looking forward to making our game better, and also looking forward to receive you as well, Professor, at IIT Jodhpur again. And if I'm not wrong, Mr. Kawakami as well. Yeah.
Yes,
So,
yes. Yes, so Kawakami-san will also visit Jodhpur in September, maybe. So therefore, you should remember about his face and also. Thank you. Hi, that will be the end of this session. So thank you for the participants and also the reporting and talking. Thank you for that's all. Thank you. That's the end of this is the end of the session. Thank you. See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
See you.
Bye.